Basic elements of a short story for 21st century literature from the Philippines and the world subject. Let us first identify what is short story. Short story, a piece of prose fiction that typically can be read in one sitting and focuses on a self-contained incident or series of linked incidents, with the intent of evoking a single effect or mood. You will be able to finish it immediately, and of course, you understand what you are reading, where you can immerse yourself. Second, one of the oldest types of literature and has existed in the form of legends, mythic tales, folk tales, fairy tales, fables, and anecdotes in various ancient communities across the world. Let us now proceed to basic elements of a short story. First, we have character. It consists of protagonist, antagonist, setting, we have place and time, plot, we have exposition, rising action, climax, falling action, and resolution. Fourth, we have conflict, man versus man, man versus nature, man versus himself, and man versus society. Theme, we have central idea or general truth, and point of view. The last one, we have first person, limited third person, and omniscient third person. Let us identify these basic elements. First, what is character? A character in a story or short story is a person. In some stories, there are animals who takes part in the action of the story or other literary works. The way an author develops the character in a story is very important in making the story, especially making appeal to the readers. It is said that the heart of the story are the characters. The most important characters in short story are the protagonists. They are the good characters, and the antagonists, they are the one who's dealing with the protagonist or the opposite of protagonist. Next, we have setting. So setting, the place, locale, and time period when the story happens is called the setting. It can be a real place, a real time, or can also be based on the author's imagination. And third, we have the plot. Or a plot is the actual story. It is what the story is all about. It is also the series of events and characters, actions that lead to the highest point of interest in a short story. The following are the different parts of a short stories or the story structure. Here is an illustration by Freytag's story pyramid. First, we have the exposition, where it is the beginning, other elements introduces by the author. And we have the rising action, where the conflicts start to build. And the climax, this is the most exciting part of a short story. In this part, important decisions are made or important things are discovered. Fourth, we have the falling action. This point occurs after the climax, as the problems in the story start to work themselves out. The excitement becomes less and less as the conflict is resolved. Lastly, the resolution. This is the solution to the problem in a story. The solution may not be what you hope for, but as long as it fits the story in tone and theme, the conflict has been resolved. Speaking of conflict, every story needs to have a problem, and this problem is called conflict. The main character, also called the protagonist, needs to have someone or something to challenge him. Without conflict, the story will not go anywhere and will not be very interesting to the readers. The main character may be faced with one of the four different types of conflict. First, we have man versus man. Second, man versus nature. Third, man versus himself. And fourth, man versus society. Fifth is the theme. This is the central idea in a short story and the general truth. This is considered as the author's message to the readers. And the last element is the point of view. This is the way the story is told or narrated. It is also known as the vantage point that a writer uses to narrate the story. The following are the types of point of view in a short story. First, person, limited third person, and omniscient third person. First person, the narrator participates in and tells the story using the pronoun I. Limited third person, the narrator is not in the story and narrates using the pronouns she or he. Also, the narrator is unable to see into the minds of the characters. Omniscient third person, the narrator is not in the story and tells the story using the pronoun she or he. In this point of view, the narrator can tell the thoughts of the characters as he can see into their minds. Again, this is the basic elements of a short story.